Here we go, everybody. Welcome to the Car Guy Coffee Podcast. This is Lou Ramirez, the Car Guy.
And this is Frelinart, Subprime Hero.
And we are Brewing Solutions live at the Kain 2024 Clients and Friends Workshop in lovely Lexington on day 3. This is the last day. And the brew just keeps getting better, everybody. And, you know, we got a lot of extra eyes on us. We actually have about 4 eyes on us right now, checking out what's brewing, what's going on, because we have the one, the only David Steinberg up on the show today. Way to get it started today.
It's always good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you guys. I don't know how you bring the energy every time.
I know, man. And I'm really that was my first sip of coffee. So let's go, right? We're ready to go.
I'm still on the old agua.
You know how we bring energy, and I'm just going to be completely honest, and this is the secret, is that Lou and I really, really love what we do, you know, and that's kind of the best part about, and you mentioned earlier, we are like the brand, right? You know, that makes it tough for us to be able to scale up in a certain way, but we believe that we're bringing this energy and it's contagious. And if we could bring this contagious energy, that we could bring more certified solutionaries out there to just change the way that this whole game is. And we believe what you're doing over there at Foureyes is definitely changing. That is solutionary work all day long. And man, I heard some great news a little bit ago about a little sale that happened, all kinds of things. Maybe I can't tell you.
You can say, so we sold Adherence. My business partner and I started Adherence in 2009. And so 15 years and sold it yesterday, which is, a huge process, which, I hadn't gone through at that level before of selling a company and all of the work and the months and months of back and forth. And so learned a ton in the process, but it's been cool. I mean, it was interesting to see something where it's your baby and then someone else comes in with a vision for your baby. And the nice part about it was just like their vision. They're building a lot of cool technology. Their vision in some ways was, honestly better than my vision for the future. So it's like, this makes sense. Like, you're going to do great things with this. Like, this is awesome. I'm excited about where it's going. So
that's, the correlation of it being your baby is so true, because we do that with our actual babies, right? We actually raise them up and then we pass them on to go into the big bad world and go fight it out themselves, and then trust other people to help mentor and shape them continually. I know what it's like seeing our sons and seeing other people be influences to our sons, and how that affects us, and saying, wow, you could coach him to a level I couldn't. You know, the respect I have for my son's coaches is on another level, just because you got something out of him I couldn't get. And when seeing that inside of a company where you toil for years, and some people, they want to toil for months, right?
Yeah.
But you had 15 years to get this orange to be put to market, right? I mean, because that's about how long it takes, anywhere between 12 to 15 years to get an apple from the first apple tree, or an orange from the first orange tree. It takes time of pouring and giving your heart to it. But in that, you've had a lot of different people be able to help kind of cultivate a good soil for you to grow in. What has it been like being able to pull and to learn and to almost have a litany list of people to thank as you get to this opportunity?
I think the reality is, like, we're just like faces. Like, the real work is behind us, and it's all the other stuff. And so much glory gets taken by the head of the companies, where it's like, at some point it's not even about you anymore.
It's true.
It's like you started the car, but the car is being driven by your team. And so, it's huge amount of thanks there. And I think too, it was interesting with Adherence, because we started Foureyes in 2016. And, I look at it now and I think, like, God, maybe I was being righteous, but I thought Foureyes and Adherence were a little bit of a conflict of interest. In that we were measuring all this data, we were doing all the sales process work. So I didn't want to be like going in selling them on marketing necessarily. So we separated those two companies in like 2019, 2020. And so I wasn't that involved. And I look back at it now and I'm like, God, was I being too ethical here with like this whole separation of church and state? Like
I don't think you were, but I understand why you would feel that way, because you have couth, you have honor, you want to do the right thing, right? And I think that you want to not just do that for yourself, but you want to make sure that everybody understands that's what we do as a business, right? Yeah, you're going to do honest business. We're going to do it the right way, and we don't want to cloud it with some kind of stuff that could be considered
like a conflict of interest.
Right.
Or like you're just telling me, you're just giving me data that's going to help support you selling advertising.
Absolutely.
More advertising. So we separated those two, and yeah, and like, yeah. Looking back at it now, I'm going, oh shit, we leave, maybe we left a lot of money on the table by doing it that way. But I think like, it is interesting because I think there's so much stuff happening in automotive.
Oh, you're so
and
right.
And it's this exciting time, and there's all this new building going on, and so there's so much work to be done. But I appreciate there's a lot of companies here, especially at Kain, where you see companies operating the right way.
Right,
they're doing the right thing. They're trying to help people.
And I love it, especially at Kain. It's a delight to see the companies here because I don't even have to. If I've never heard of the company, I already know they're a good company. David wouldn't allow them to be here. It's David's very picky about who he brings into his friends and family and his clients, right? And and that's something that we all honor. You honor it. We honor it. Everybody that's in this building today is honoring David Kain because he's worth honoring because he brings in businesses worth honoring. So it's like honor on top of honor on top of honor. It makes it really simple to come here and know that you're going to leave refreshed with something new and an opportunity to either start business with a vendor if you're a dealer, or a lot of times vendors of vendors. We came away with this with the V20, right? And this was something special for us coming to a meeting like this, getting together with righteous business owners and businesses and just get together and say, you know what, we want to make a change and we're going to do that. And we're going to come together and even figure out a way to even make a change that's even a bigger impact because we are better together, right?
Yes. Well, we work with Outsell now, and Outsell's a great partner of ours. And we met them here.
Yeah.
Where we thought we were competitors.
Right.
And then we started looking at what we're doing. We're like, we're not actually competing at all. So like that came from this conference.
And that's what the magic is of coming to a more intimate conference where you're really just able to sit at the table and hear each other rather than the noise of the hustle and the bustle of a big giant event where you got to run everywhere and you got to consume a lot and you got to take it in and you got to put out a lot of energy just to even kind of get into the circles that you want to get into, or just get down to the hallway to find a bathroom or something to eat because there's so many people everywhere, right? You're pulled in so many directions. Here, you can actually pinpoint what it is that you want to do, and that's great. But you can also connect what's happening here to what's going on everywhere else, as there's been many people that have jumped on the show and spoke about what it is that they're actually brewing for the industry and the solutions that they're bringing to market. But we've also had great people like you, Jordan Cox, that have been hanging out with us and making sure that we've been having fun, and you've been getting a piece of what's been going on. Because I kind of feel like I should see Jordan go running by over here, just like we've seen Kevin just walking right on by and hanging out with us and smiling and lighting it all up. I mean, I can feel your energy, Jordan. Thank you so much for being here. You should be here, and so should many others.
What's up, Lou and Fred? I love.
Like you said, I love.
All capital letters.
Yep, so, Jordan's great. And did you guys see Did you see his work in the Silver Fox advertising best idea thing?
We didn't see that. We were in here interviewing.
He sent me the video yesterday. You got to watch it. Jordan,
Send us that video.
Jordan did great. Jordan, you did a great job. It was awesome.
Great job. Shout out to you, buddy. Keep putting out that good work, man. Your future is bright, my friend. Keep it coming.
Jordan, if you want that on the show today, go ahead and send that to us. Lou at carguycoffee.com and Fred at carguycoffee.com. We'll try to input that inside of the show since it was part of this incredible event. We definitely want to see what it is that you got brewing. But there's so much creativity that's here, and so many other people that are impacted by what's happening here. But there's something just it's like pure about it, right? Where you really leave here not just enlightened, but actually enriched, right? Just like you want good soil to be able to build up your company, to take where it is that you want to go. Now that you kind of have this reprieve, this little bit, okay, we're past that. Holy cow, that was a lot. You're on a new horizon. You see new horizons. You see new mountaintops to go climb to.
Well, and I think brain space, and that's an important concept for everybody, right? Like brain space takes space. And I think that oftentimes people are victims of having, thin slicing their brain across too many things.
It's true.
And so, paying attention to just like, for us, like, well, how do, removing these things that are taking brain space and taking focus away from the things I'm trying to work on.
And that's for how many total people? How many total people have you now been able to shift around and now move into?
So between the two companies, we were about 170 employees. So about half of them.
That's a lot.
Wow. So, and I'm excited to run the company now as like a 70. From run Foureyes as a 70-person company. You know, just that's
Goodness.
like sounds amazing.
So it is, you know, there's a lot because, you know, as being, you know, when you're a leader, you care about your people, right? And when you talk about family, you know, you want to make sure everyone's successful. So it's a lot. You put a lot of pressure on yourself. So when you have that many really people to be accountable for, it's like
that's hearts, minds, goals, whys, hands, time. I mean, that's a lot of.
Yeah, and I think too. I mean, you guys see this in business. It's like flying a plane. There's like always something wrong. Always a fire to burn. And so it's like you know, having a smaller area with less opportunity to burn is actually pretty helpful. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the future. I think. You know, we're building some stuff right now that I'm pumped on. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Okay. Anything that we can get a little bit of an exclusive on?
Well, I think like what we're leaning into. So we're doing a lot of stuff. Everyone's going to be working with generative AI. Everyone's doing stuff for generative AI. But I think what we're leaning into is the idea of like, how do you make people plus AI, right? How do you make people more powerful? Because I think a lot of things that I'm seeing are about removing people or removing processes and moving it into AI. And I think that at the end of the day, people sell cars now. And they still sell cars. And it's both its inherent structural advantage and it's a structural disadvantage. But so how do you remove the structural disadvantage and make it so AI helps people sell more cars, right? And so I think there's some different stuff with how we're setting things up to really, you know, up level people. Yeah, I mean, I think there's gonna be a lot of great work, and I don't think we're the only ones thinking that way. But I think like I'm excited just to it's kind of a creative problem to solve. Yeah, and it's a little bit of the behavioral psychology, and I think you know that's kind of our wheelhouse.
And I think that's something that we're all trying to figure out how to fuse all of the great things that are being developed and made and built and perfected to a great person. I mean, I see it like in the Matrix where you jump into the big giant fighter suit that has the giant guns, and you know we're trying to augment the human, help the human be better at what it is that they do. And sales pros, there's so much that's out there for you to be better at what it is that you do, especially if at the heart you are actually wanting to help the people that are there for you. But if you were going into surgery, you would want the doctor to have access to all of the tools to make you better, Ian. To get you where it is that you want to go. And that's where we're going in automotive. No longer is a big mystery game for the customer or for us. There's so much information out there for us to look at. We just have to make sure that we're looking at the right stuff with the right people, right? Yeah,
and I think too, like, again, it's solving the right problems. Because I think whenever there's like a moment, whenever there's a hot technology, everyone gets kind of their eyes glazed over on what it can offer, right? And you look at like all these, like the number of cars sold per salesperson hasn't changed in 35 years.
Nope.
That's what we've been saying.
And so all of these moments of promise new efficiencies, they've just been moving things around. They've just been reshuffling the deck. And so the goal is like really, okay, so what is the real problem we're trying to solve? Like, so if you look at the bad experience in auto, which is a known bad customer experience in buying a car. It starts because it's an institutional memory problem. It's because at each interaction, there's no memory of the previous interaction. And
it's so true. Everybody goes amnesia.
Right. And like doctors, I mean, like doctors have been working on this problem for years because they also saw like, oh, when a bad doctor's visit is related to when they can't get your health information. They don't have institutional memory of what you've done. And so I think the challenge with AI is how do you use it, how do you use it to create these better connections to institutional memory? Because right now, the way it's being deployed in a lot of ways, it's doing cool things, but it's actually hurting institutional memory. It's having this whole conversation over here and no one over here knows what's going on. And so to the customer,
that's like none of you talk to each other, or you don't care about me, or robots do everything.
AI, and I'd rather talk to somebody who knows who's going to help me right now.
Yeah, or you're unorganized. I had this conversation with this thing, and you can't remember the conversation here. And so, when you're starting at a trust factor that the average car shopper is starting at, any of those little bumps become much bigger bumps, right? I don't trust you. I don't believe you because something's different in what you said here from here. And so I think that to me, the core problem is how do we solve the institutional memory problem, and how do we layer AI on top of that, so that because AI is here. It's going to be amazing. It's going to do a ton of stuff. We're all going to be using generative AI. I mean, I'm scared to death.
It's not. Yeah, it's not going back. It's not going.
No,
back.
I agree. What I see though, when we go out in the market, it all starts with like what you said is like all they did was shift the work to something else. They didn't add work. They didn't say, hey, we should do more. Instead of they're like, hey, we should do the same, but we should replace this with that. And it doesn't help us sell more cars. That just helps us sell the same amount of cars and just actually technically doing less work because we're using technology.
Well, and it just costs more too. I mean,
it does.
The cost center is going
I think it's crazy. I think it's better to teach people the day that and give them job titles and understand that these are your duties that you have to do every single day when you come in the store. We've gotten away from that really bad where it's we want to use machines instead of letting our people do work. And now I'm honestly, most salespeople at a dealership might work 2-3 hours a day. The rest of the day, they're standing around hoping for things to happen. And we need to learn to show them how to schedule their days a little bit better, to be able to take the technology that we have to be able to be more efficient. Because what it does, it's an addition, not a subtraction, then an addition. Right. It's an addition to what you currently do. So if you actually take that mindset and learn that and actually implement that, it'll change everything. But the problem is most dealerships don't. So they get this technology, they keep selling the same amount of cars, and they go, this stuff doesn't work. No, it works. You're just doing less now.
Yeah.
So do the same and add that on to help do the extra work. The AI is there to do it without you having to be there. So why not just, I don't get that. Like to me, it drives me nuts when we go in stores. It's a really simple fix most of the time. That's why me and Lou are going to be employed probably for a very long time, because we can go into a store and see that really quick. And we just get them excited about doing activities. You get them, I take away all the technology. Yeah. I can help them sell more cars without technology. It's just easier and more efficient and cleaner and a way better customer experience if we engage with the technology that we have, because that's what customers are doing. They're engaging with technology. So we need to start our engagement there and then learn how to utilize that to be able to make it easy for us to pick up a phone, talk to them, give them the information that they want when they want it. It's important. So like it really comes down to that right there. People need to learn that we don't take away job stuff. We just make that an addition to our job.
Well, and like we started parsing all the CRM activity and analyzing, well, what's real human outreach?
Yeah.
What does a successful human outreach look like? And what you see is a giant close rate spike when there's real human activity on leads. And what we also see is if you take any dealer's leads, you take their last 90 days of leads, they have real human activity, real human outreach on less than 25% of their leads at any given time.
Facts. Wow.
Right. Wow. So in a 7-day period, so they have 7 days, and that's like what's happening now is we just have these really short. It's like a 3-day sales cycle, 3-day follow up, and then it's dead. But
it's dead lead, and then it gets marked dead, which makes us lose our mind when they mark a dead lead because they hasn't answered the phone in 4 days. Right, or they haven't gotten a hold of them. But that's a whole other conversation, everybody, because this is why we need the technology also to not do the things that some of the humans do, where we discount what could actually be a buyer just because we don't put the effort forward inside of the hard work and recognizing the hard work that's done to get the person even at the table with us, or the contact information that we have, because that's the fight that everybody's going for, is to have that data, have that info, and be able to entertain that customer to purchase. But if we don't change the things that we're doing with what we have, we're going to keep having 8 car a month, guys. Right? That's what life's going to look like, everybody.
Facts, man. This has been a great show. The 5 years from now, where do you see Foureyes going?
I mean, I love, like, I operate under what I call hallway theory.
Okay.
So some people do tunnel theory, some people do hallway theory. Tunnel theory is I'm going exactly here and nothing's gonna get in my way, and I'm building this. Hallway theory is, hey, we're trying to increase close rate. We're trying to increase sales efficiency. We are open to every single hallway that comes along in order to do that. I'm excited because of the way I think we can communicate and motivate salespeople. I think so much of software is built to tell you you're doing something wrong. And I'm excited to build software to say you're doing something right.
Yes, come on.
To be little bits of good news.
Great news.
So 5 years, like, no,
I hear you. I hear you. Obviously, you're going to see growth. You're going to see opportunity. You're going to see a lot of dealers who are going to get a lot of help, right? And that's something that I absolutely see you doing. And I see opportunities, and I see you constantly being right there in the forefront, learning, growing, and sharing, and that's all we can ask from you, man. And if you keep doing that, I know that Foureyes is going to be right there helping so many people do the right thing. And we appreciate your solutionary sauce that you got.
You guys as well. I mean, you guys are out there crushing it. So, and I mean, I think everyone knows how hard you work, but you are always the hardest working people at every event. So
we appreciate that.
I hope. How many hours a night do you sleep?
As many as I can.
You must just, you got
about 4 to 5, maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, you got to move. You got to just. It's like we talked about our age. We won't say what it is, but there's only so much time that I have that I can keep on the gas like this. So I'm doing hard right now as hard as I can. I'm hard in the paint, baby. I can't stop this. Man.
I go hard.
I go hard.
No, but this is really the thing that we do enjoy most about this is that we do get the chance to just even have a few moments to speak to somebody like you who is a visionary in this industry that is trying to bring the actual solutions that either technology or actual human interaction can bring to the market, can bring to the table. It is fun to do this, and that's why we do it so much, because it's stinking fun, right? We get to hear, we get to learn, and we know, and then from there it's, hey, it's been put inside of our cups. We drink it up. We know the solutions that are out there. We get to share it with you all, and you take it someplace else. You're spending time with us either at your desktop. You're spending time with us on your cell phone. You're spending time with us on your commute and on your drive. But you're getting some great information and some great insight about some of the things that are shaking behind the industry. When we were talking about the behind the scenes, all I really kind of wanted to do when you were saying that was move this wall over and see like a bunch of Oompa Loompas back there making the whole thing go on, right? Because there's a lot of moving and shaking, but sometimes we're the Oompa Loompas, right? We're the ones moving and shaking, making it happen, as we are right here, brewing some solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast.
Right.
You should be at this event to hear what's going on, and we're going to make sure to stay with you for the rest of the day. Everybody, this is day 3 at Kain 2024 Clients and Friends Workshop, and it has been incredibly lovely here in Lexington. Did you get out to the races yesterday?
I skipped it.
You skipped it? Did you go to a bourbon tasting or a bourbon
tour?
What?
I went up and worked on my presentation, which got go on in like 20 minutes.
Oh, this is what a mover shaker does. He's working, everybody. He's making it do what it do.
I know.
My goodness. Well, we do encourage you. Take some of the time to enjoy what it is that you are working so hard on, because in this industry, you know the deal. We work hard, we play hard, and we have an incredible time doing it. But, brother, we're so thankful that we had a little bit more time with you. Good luck. Hopefully, we got you caffeinated up, ready to go take that stage, go enjoy yourself. But we're going to fly from that stage, and you know how to do this. We make sure to forgive, focus, and fly so that we can keep growing all the time. Ready? Right. Hands on the shoulders. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Forgive. Focus, fly, and keep growing, keep growing. There we go. Right, hey, everybody, I'm Lou Ramirez, the Car Guy.
And I'm Frelin Arts, subprime hero.
And you've been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast with the one, the only, David Steinberg. Thank you so much for a great time. We will see all of you soon. Keep brewing solutions. We are out.